in order to have the connectedness with Source, you need to open up that space of no thought. Alertness, relaxed alertness. It seems almost paradoxical, but they go together. Relaxed alertness. And you could also call that becoming comfortable with not knowing. Because otherwise your mind always thinks it knows already. So when you're trying to help somebody has a problem, people will immediately try to say something helpful. They think hard, okay, what can I say to this person who is so suffering so much? I need to say something helpful. And then you search in your mind. And usually it's not that great, and it's not well received by the person, and it's not that helpful. They might say, okay, thanks. But they feel it doesn't come from any deep place within yourself. Although your intentions are good, you're trying hard to say something helpful. But to be really helpful, you need to become comfortable with not knowing anything. And that because that the space of no thought is, you don't know anything in the space of no thought, at least not conceptually. The miracle is that in the space of no thought, you access the source of all knowledge, but it hasn't reached concepts yet. It's potential of all knowledge, the primary source. So many people are actually afraid of going there because they're afraid of not knowing. And so they need to keep thinking. So if you can, somebody comes to you, let's assume you have practiced already beforehand, not knowing, for example, by not labeling compulsively everything around you, but actually be present with a tree, with the sky, with another person. And so you almost, another way of putting it, you almost disappear as a person in that state of no thought. Because in no thought, who are you? You're simply a presence. You're not a particular person anymore. So it's a voluntary kind of disappearing act where you, as the personal entity, disappear, and there's just a space of consciousness where you were before. This sometimes happens to people who suffer greatly. They suffer so much that their ego gets destroyed and eroded, and what's left is just a presence. And this could happen to you, but probably won't need to happen because you're already voluntarily going there, so life doesn't need to push you into it. So to become comfortable with not knowing, let's say a person comes to you is in suffering again, or is close to death, or somebody has just died, or they have just lost everything, or whatever it may be. Or of course it could be pseudo-suffering too. It could just be a suffering totally created by their mind. No actual situation, just totally mind-created. In which case I naturally always have a little smile on my face. I'm not laughing at them, I'm just smiling because I realize it's a delusion. But let's assume it's real suffering. Somebody has just died or is approaching death or has an illness. And then instead of figuring out what can I say, you just go still and you just listen. And it may be that no words come, but an energy, you contributed an energy to that situation that is helpful, that is healing. Some healing comes in healing, the deepest healing really comes in that way too. When you access that, it's not always words that come out of that space. Sometimes a wordless emanation comes out of that space, which some people might call healing. And healing is not necessarily healing of a physical symptom. There's a deeper level of healing that helps that other person to connect with the deepest source within themselves. And that's really the ultimate and true healing.